Hey everyone, this is Mr. Isometric, and in this video we are going to learn a very unique way of texture painting. The reason why I am calling this unique is because we are basically just painting a mask, and then we will have more control over that mask. So you can just paint once and then you can define two textures at once. So you'll know what we are going to do. Let's get started. So I'll just import a plane. Shift A, import a plane, and let's get to the top view, and then I'll just open a shader editor. Okay, now let's give it a material, and inside the material we want two textures at once, so let's go step by step. I'll just select the texture over here, and now let's include our two textures. So it will be image texture. Let's open up our image texture. Okay, so we will have one grass and one dirt texture for that. So let me just find my textures folder. Okay, so this will be our ground. This will be our ground texture, as you can see, and then we will have another one, and that will be our dirt. So here it is, our dirt, and then I'll just select this one. So as you can see, these two are two different images, and then we want our dirt to be at the center and our grass to be at the both sides. So you can actually do that whole thing procedurally, but I will just show you how to do it with texture paint. So we will use mix RGB node, and let's plug both of these connectors over here, and let's plug these into our base color. So as you can see, depending on the factor value, these both textures will change. Okay, so this is the red mud and that is ground, so it should be updating. Okay, so we were not able to see that in the textures view mode, so I just changed my mode to render view. So I think I should also add an HDRI. So I'll just go into my world tab, and let's, with the help of Node Wrangler, Control T, and then I'll just open up an HDRI. Okay, let's open another one, such as an outside one. So noon grass looks good. Okay, so noon grass is a bit too much. I think I'll just go with this, I guess. Okay, so we are now clearly are able to tell the difference. Okay, so when my factor is 1, the bottom socket gets activated, which is this red mud sand. Okay, and when my socket is 0, my top texture, which is grass, we can see that. So imagine, like, if we paint with a black mask over here, then we will be able to define our two textures. Okay, so we actually need another image texture. We can just duplicate this one, and let's remove everything, and after doing that we will make a new image texture, and don't make it black, make it white. Okay, so completely white. And the reason why we are making this white is because we will not be able to see a black color over our while texture painting over our object. So yep, just keep that in mind. You can make the resolution anything you want. I'll just keep it at 1K. Let's name it as grass underscore dirt mask. Let's keep the alpha channel, and everything is good, so let's just click OK. So now, as you can see, we can just set this to non-color data. So this color is now white, and let's plug that into our factor, and let's see the result. So as you can see, the white represents this. So as we wanted to paint our black color, so what we can do is we can just invert this their positions. So now the grass becomes on the top and the ground goes on the bottom. So now let's go into our texture paint, but before going to texture paint, don't forget to select your mask. Okay, while selecting the mask, you can either go over here and just change this mode to texture paint, and now from top over here, or you can either go over here. By the way, our texture mask is selected over here on which we want to paint. You can click over here on this this button over here where my mouse is right now. Okay, so that just inverts anything we have between these two color palettes. Okay, so you can change this color to black or just click over here. The thing is we need the black to paint on the white. Okay, so now what we will do is we will start painting it, and as you can see, as I start painting, my dirt starts appearing. So I'll just paint it a little bit like this. You can also do one thing is that you can play paint with the gray color so that you get a little bit of dirt over there, but you know what, let's make it procedural in the sense that we just have to paint with one color. Okay, I'll just paint something like this. I think it is good enough, and after doing that, I think what we should do is I'll show the procedural stuff which I was talking about. So let's go into our object mode, and don't forget to save this texture mask. The way I know how to save this is by, let's go into our image editor. Okay, there it is, and let's open up our mask. So here it is, my dirt mask. You can also paint on the mask over here. As you can see, you just have to change it from view to paint, and then same, you can choose your color from the drop down. So let's get into view, and now let's just go into our image and then save as. So here it is, the shortcut Shift Alt S. So now save your texture mask anywhere you want. So I'll just save it in the blend file which I was in right now. So where it is, so here it is, texture paint. So now let's undo the compression, and let's keep, if you want to keep the alpha channel you can keep it, but I don't think it's just a black and white image, so we don't need alpha channel for that. Now let's just save it. So now as your image is saved, you can just remove this, and now as I said, we can have a bit more control over it. From that I mean it, we can use math to do some stuff, such as we can also use color ramp. For instance, let us say I just plug color ramp in middle. So if I now change this black to grayish, you can see we can blend between those two right now. Okay, you can make this black go much further. So as you can see, if I zoom in, there is a little bit of transition from, as you can see, it is not fully, there is a transition from here to here. So if I just increase that, you see that this black value becomes more sharp, and now that transition is gone. So that's one of the advantage of doing this like this, texture painting like this. So I can also increase the white value, and as you can see, it becomes sharp again. So this is for the color ramp. And what if we use a math node? So let us plug the color in the value, and let's plug that in the factor. So as you can see, now a value is being added on the ground. So what I will do is I can decrease it. Okay, the thing is, you can play around with the math node as much as you want. You can set it to multiply. Okay, so you can do that with the math node. You can also set it to less than and greater than, but I don't think this is a really good idea, because as you can see what it's doing right now, so you get a really smooth transition. I think color ramp is good enough to control everything, such as the fallout and other stuff. So you can just blend between two textures very easily. And now imagine if you want any other texture over it. So what you will do is just have another mix RGB node. Let's plug that right into there, and suppose I just take another texture. So what this will do is, now assume that this is your final texture and then you want something else on top of it. So what you will do is just have another image texture, and then we will have another texture for that. Let's find a texture. So what can we put over there?
So no, I don't think I use that.
Okay, so let us assume we want this texture upon that. So let's just plug that into our second color socket, and now let's watch it from the BSDF view. So 0, nothing, and then 1, we get the texture we want. So let us now paint another mask for that. So let's just duplicate this image texture. We just need an image texture. Let's remove that, and let's plug it into our factor value, and now this will be our second mask. So let's call it ground mask 2. I'll just keep it on 1K and click OK. So now as you can see, we have to paint it with the black value, so we can see it will be visible for us. So we can also invert it. So now while painting with black, we will reveal the terrain where we want that. So I think I should paint it now. So before painting, I think it is good to save your image. So let's go into our image editor, paint, and now let's open our ground mask 2, and now let's save it as ground mask 2, no compression and no alpha channel needed. So let's just save it. Now let's texture paint over it. So before going texture paint, make sure that you select your ground mask and then just go to your texture paint mode, and as you can see, now we can paint over there. Press F2, increase the scale of your brush, and just paint it. Okay, so as you can see, I just painted my texture paint over there without using any extra material. We are just using a single material, and then you can just apply this. Okay, so let me just save this mask, ground mask 2 again. Okay, don't do save as, just do a normal save, and it will automatically save your data. Also don't forget to make this non-color data if you are using cycles. Okay, great. So now we just texture painted procedurally. We can remove this image texture from over here, and now one more control over this is that you can actually just add a mapping node for this and increase the scale of in each of the image texture individually. So not for the mask but for the image textures only. So this one is a mask, so these two are actually the mask, so I'll keep them up, and these are my image textures. So what we will do is we will add a texture coordinate, and then I'll also add a mapping node. You can either use UV coordinates or object coordinate depending upon which coordinate system you prefer. So from here, as you can see, I can now increase the tiling of the dirt node, and to remove this tiling and make it more random, you can also use polygon over mapping node. So if I flip shift A, so I don't have that, so I'll just quickly append it. So go on file, append, and then let me just append that from the file. So here it is, and then let's go to the node tree and then select the polygon uber mapping node, and now it is appended into our this file. So shift A, group, and then polygon uber mapping node. So now you can remove this mapping node from here, and then it's technically using our original texture coordinate UVs and then manipulating that UVs for our convenience. So this goes into our dirt, and then you can see the result once so what we need to do is we need to add some scale to it. So let's scale it something like 13, and then we should do is we should add some mosaic rotation. 5 will be good enough, and then you have something called as mosaic noise, so increase that noise as well. So it is now not tiling, I mean like it is looking a little bit seamless, even though you can still find out the patterns in it. If you are clever enough, you will. I mean, you don't have to, but if you find out, then that's good enough, I guess. So you can play with these values. Global rotation, let's keep that to 0.5. okay, look, it's looking pretty good. So you can now just plug this same UV coordinates to each and every of the image texture if you want to. So as you can see, we just created a terrain between a rough grass and then the dirt, and then there is this a normal grass with procedurally, and we still have a lot of control over it. If you are good with the math node, then you can do anything you want with those values. You can also change this to grayish to decrease its effect. Okay, so I think that's good enough. If you decrease this value, so the dirt will be able to cover most of the area. Okay, great. So I think this is the way everyone should texture paint in their Blender files, because texture painting each and every individual image will be pain and it will be hard to edit. So I think this is one of the way to do it. Okay, if you want a bump and everything, you can literally just take your this image textures, then convert it into black and white image, and then directly plug them into your normal socket. Well, I think I will show you that as well. So let's create a bump node. Let's have a bump node, and then what we will do is we will have image to black and white. Just type BW, and then there will be an RGB to BW, which stands for black and white. You can now take this value and plug that over here, and then plug this into the height socket. Let's get out of the texture paint mode. My Blender just lagging. Okay, let's get out of the texture paint mode, and then as you can see, you got the bump, but I think this bump is only for the row, this dirt texture. So if you want to have the bump of other textures as well, yep, that's for the dirt only. So you can also mask the stuff out over here. So you can, what you can do is you can shift T to duplicate it and shift T to duplicate it again. Just plug these color values of the three textures, and then you can literally just add them. You can add them via math, or you can also use the mix RGB again to add them, and this time you can use the factors to define where you want the dirt and where you don't want dirt. texture to be included, so I'll just use a math node. Now let us add these two up. Now let's set it to multiply. I think multiply will work much better. Okay, it didn't work that well. Let's just keep it to add. So it's technically adding these two up and then giving this value. So you can just shift it to duplicate that add node, and then you can just, let me just drag them out of the way. Now you can just do one thing, is that plug this value over here and take the third value and add them together. Now two ideas mixed together, plug that into our height node, and let's watch it via our BSDF. Okay, so it's taking a little bit time, but it is there. So now you got some bump and roughness. You can also plug that plug the same value into the roughness socket as well, and then you can play it with some color ramp, that roughness value. It will take some time. Okay, so here it is now. So after doing all of this, it is a good practice to just make it one image texture, and you can do that by baking the color texture and other maps. So I think I will show how to bake your textures as well. So let us make a new image texture. You don't have to actually plug anything, just once you are done with your final texture, and you want it to look like this always. So as you can see, my viewport is lagging so much, and that's because computer has to do all this maths for each and every frame. So anyways, you are actually going to bake the texture when finally after texturing, so it won't take that much of time. So what we'll do is, let's click new. I'll let it be at 1K resolution. So let's call this as final ground texture. We want the alpha channel, then let's click OK. And now we are just I will just show you how to bake the color, I mean like base color of this texture, so you can bake the bump as well later. So by selecting your final ground texture, and also you have to be in the cycles for this. So I think all this time I was using Eevee, and it's not lagging that much in Eevee. Okay, so for baking textures you need to be in cycles so that you get this bake option. And from the combined, let's just change it to diffuse, and then direct, indirect, we will uncheck them. So now what we will do is, we will also select our this plane, and while selecting our the texture which on which we want to bake, I'll just click on bake. One thing I didn't mention is that why did I remove these two sockets, direct and indirect. The reason behind them is that as this scene is lit up by the HDRI, so that is counted as the direct lighting. So the direct light is like which directly comes from the HDRI and that hits our ground plane, and then indirect light is counted as the shadows or the bounce light. So uncheck them because we just want the color information, and then we will use the bump texture to like have our own texture which will be lit up by another HDRI, so it will look good. So imagine like if there is a shadow casted over this plane right now by some pillar or something, some object, so what will happen is that shadow will be also counted as a color texture, and then it will be baked in inside our color, and so we don't want that. So that's why I just unselected this direct and indirect light. Okay, so now baking is about to get completed. It's on 99% and it is done. So let us take a look at on how our bake is looking. Let us change this to image editor. Let's look at the final ground texture. So as you can see, this is my final ground texture. We can also save this. No compression, there is no alpha value, so let's just keep it at RGB and let's save it. So now as you can see, I just created an whole image texture from nothing, from this. So now I can literally just delete everything which I created and use a single image texture. So instead of deleting, I think I'll just remove this base color, and also I'll remove this from roughness and then normal. Okay, I think it's a good idea, don't do this, and first bake your texture and then you can literally just plug this into your base color. And as you can see, you got your texture. Also now you can do one thing, is you can just plug that value. Okay, let me just make it a little bit bigger. So as you can see, I just directly plug that baked image texture over here and it's looking really good. So I'll just take my RGB to black and white, plug that directly into my this pump normal over there. Let's take our image and then let's convert it into black and white image. So as you can see, you don't actually have to now add this or bake a separate image texture for that. This single one is enough. Let me just move everything back which we don't need. So now this single image texture will control everything. Let's plug that into the height value. Also let's take that into our roughness. So as we are in the cycles, I will also enable my denoiser, so viewport denoising, and as you can see, we got bumps, we got roughness value plugged in. You can also plug now a color ramp over there in between that, and also you can use a color ramp over here. We can literally just go and let's turn our EV on because it's faster. So now let us take a look at our bump texture. This is kind of a hack, so hope this works. Okay, so now we can do this as well. Play with this value until you are satisfied. Let's take our roughness, and I think roughness looks good, but we can increase the roughness on the dirt. You can also invert everything by just doing this. Just take one socket over there and one socket over here and everything is inverted. There is also a specially made invert node over there in the node groups. Okay, so you can do that as well. And to make things a little bit less rough, you can take this white value and bring it down, so now you control the roughness as well. So as you can see, we have a lot of control over here on whatever we are doing right now. Okay, let's keep this white. Okay, so once we are satisfied with that, as you can see, this mud actually looks way too glossy, but I think inside the EV it's looking like that. We can always go and increase this white value so it's get more rough. We can increase this black value to white as well, so it's get a little bit less glossy. Play around with it. We can also decrease the strength, increase the strength. Okay, so now that my texture looks a little bit more muddy. So yep, and then you can just literally, and as you can see, it is so fast in EV as well as in the cycles. Let me remove the denoiser, and as you can see, it is moving really fast. It's looking good as well. If you see the bumps are looking weird, then you can always go ahead and decrease the strength so that bumps won't look that weird. Okay, great. So I think that's it for this tutorial. I found this technique while using Substance Painter and thought, why not just use, instead of painting directly the texture, let's just paint mask and use different image textures in place of that. So if you want this blend file, I will provide it somewhere on my GitHub account. I guess I will provide it there. You can download it and play around with this file if you want to. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you all learned something new and enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe and share if you like this video. Okay, so yeah, bye bye.